following us. Apparently all the lifts face the front of the boat, except where they don't. It's gonna rain next week. Lovely Southampton. What all that scrap is.
Scrap metal, yeah.
Well, why would you have that at a dock?
We're going to like some container ship to.
So we did this cruise to sort of practice for retirement in the future and see whether we enjoyed cruising. We were a little bit nervous about the crowds, but I didn't find that to be a problem at all. Even though it was a fully booked cruise, 3,500 people, I never once felt that it was uncomfortable with crowds, so that works. The other thing I was nervous about was sea legs, and whether either of us would get seasickness. And I think for me, I'm a slightly nervous flyer, so I sort of go through the same experience on the cruise, but I classify it as no more than light turbulence, and it soon goes to the back of your mind. And then I think on two occasions you felt a nudge to your stomach as the ship had maybe hit a small wave, and then you're alert, but say the Lord's Prayer, take a couple of deep breaths and just move on. But there's so much to do on the ship. Half the time you're distracted by the entertainment or people watching, which is always good fun. So would I do a cruise again? So I think yes. I wouldn't do the same one, been there, done that, but I definitely have a look into some of the other cruises that are on offer, and as long as there's sun involved, I think that the whole experience is absolutely value for money. So I had a great time. Thanks P&O Cruises, thanks Ventura, and thanks the staff on board. It made for a great holiday. So if you've researched the cruise and the Ventura and P&O Cruises, you'll have seen a range of comments, negative, positive. My main advice is go with an open mind. The cruise is what you make it. Yeah, so I'm a bit difficult to talk to strangers and you're on a boat surrounded by loads of them, but a majority of people seem to get this cruise head mentality on, by which they just smile and say hello and want to talk to you, and so it's not too difficult to smile back and then start listening, and people naturally want to talk. I think a few times in the smokers area I got somebody's life story without even doing anything other than smiling. It's nice to join in with the conversations and hear people's experiences of the cruise and what they're enjoying about it. So I think the cruise was fully booked, which means there was about 3,500 people on board. And except for the second sea day, I'd say that it never felt claustrophobic with all those people. And you were always getting served fairly quickly, so never an issue there. I think on the second sea day, everybody got surprised by the fact that the weather was so nice. It was predicted or forecast to rain, but it didn't, and the sun had come out, so the bar areas and that were all packed. I think every sunbed had been taken, although we eventually found one. And I guess there was a moment where I thought that I was stood in the Wetherspoons on a packed Saturday afternoon, but once, so it didn't detract from the experience, and with a little bit of patience, eventually you do get a place to go sit and enjoy yourself. So the drinks package costs £40 a day, and you can choose from a range of drinks, normal drinks like beers or gin and tonic, Jack Daniels, which is my drink, or there's cocktails you can choose as well, which £40 a day. For 7 days we paid £280, and by the end of the week we counted up how many drinks we'd had, which is about 100 each, and 100 drinks at, say, an average price of £6, because the cocktails are about £7, the beers are about £5, is 600 quid. So you absolutely, the drinks package is worthwhile. On top of that, the drinks package costs $280, but we've got some onboard credit which we used to offset it, which was about £90 each. And I know that that's money that you've already spent when you're buying the cruise, but mentally it was sunk money. So for me, that meant that the package was probably about 190 quid. So yeah, absolutely, easily worthwhile. So if you like a drink, you don't have to be a big drinker. If you like a drink, I think you'll easily smash it, and so it's absolutely worthwhile getting the drinks package. And if you're in doubt, I'd say still buy it, because your days are quite long and you don't have to be searching for a drinking session to get your money's worth, because you have a couple of drinks at lunchtime, a couple of drinks mid-afternoon, a couple of drinks in the evening, a drink after the show if you've gone to one. It doesn't take long for that to add up to about 10 drinks a day. And having spoken to the other three on the cruise, none of us ever drunk and felt drunk, so it wasn't like a session from Wetherspoons. The buffet is what you'd expect. There's not a lot that tastes amazing, but it's all well cooked and you can eat as much as you like throughout the day. And then you've got the poolside bars, which do pizzas, burgers and hot dogs, and I quite like the hot dogs, so that was a sort of staple each day, so that was good. And then in the evening, you can book to be seated and have table service in one of the restaurants, and there's I think there's 3 restaurants where you can do that, and they all offer the same menu. And there you can have a 3-course meal, and what I quite liked about the 3-course meal is it wasn't a ton of food on your plate. Quite small portions, but that's a good thing because you've been eating all day, so you wouldn't necessarily want a big meal, but it was something different. And of course it's nice with the dress code to go in evening casual and see people who are, you know, looking their finest. So there's a range of bars on the ship. We spent probably most of our time at the Breakers Bar, which is on the smoking deck and near the pool, and that was good fun. That you don't go up to hosts, walk around and you order your drink on their tablet and they scan your cruise card, and then anywhere between a minute and 5 later you've got your drink. There was a few inside bars. We liked the Red Bar, where there was often a piano player doing her thing, so that was nice. And then there was also the Metropolis, which is at the back of the ship, and that was nice in the evening, and seems to have a stricter dress code for evening casual, but it's, you know, in a slightly darkened environment, and I think they do 1 or 2 cocktails that you can't get anywhere else on the ship. Passion fruit martini being one that I can think of. So I think there's a lot to be seen in the bars. So the service is excellent. Just like any type of hosting role, I think there's an absolute skill set with regards to good service, and there's more hosts on board that are very good at it than there are that are not so good at it. And even the ones that are not so good at it, all they'd have to do is smile and it'd make a massive difference. But you can see that sometimes some of the hosts are a bit stressed with because it can get really busy and getting the drinks, and obviously everybody's asking them, and they're having to input it into their machines and I guess remember whose drink is whose and try and make sure the drinks aren't sat on the side for ages. So I can see how it can be a stressful job, but no, the hosts were really good. Enjoyed it. So the entertainment, there's loads of it. There's shows in the evening. I think 2 shows. The majority are done by the ship's resident theatre group, but on our cruise there were actually 2 nights where a group called Graffiti Classics have been brought onto the ship to host a show, and they're good. They're an hour long. Again, not too long, so it's not painful sitting there. And they're of high quality as well, so they were really enjoyable. I think we watched one called Magic Moments, which was about the life story of Burt Bacharach, which I really enjoyed. And then, so you got the Tamarind Bar, and we saw the ship's resident busker there a couple of times, and also a lady singing, classics like Barry Manilow and that. As well as the entertainment crew will often come out and do quizzes or bingo or silent disco, which was one of Mrs. G's favourites. And then you got Havana, the nightclub, where you can, I don't think it has an end time, I think it all depends on the atmosphere, but in the club as to what time they're closed. But I think we were there at 2:30 on the second sea day. And it was still going then, so yeah, lots to do. And then in the the bar down on deck 6, they have 2 big TV screens, so you can see all the latest sport. I think on the first sea day we watched the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and 2 Premier League matches. And again, there you can be sat and all of a sudden the entertainment crew arrive, and before you know it, you're involved in some sort of quiz. And all this entertainment, you can take it or leave it, it's your choice. I saw quite a few people sat on their balconies or sat on a chair by the window reading a book, and that looked like it would be just as much fun as getting involved in some of the entertainment. So I really enjoyed it. We bought a motorhome. Absolutely no idea what we're doing, no experience of one, but really like the idea of practicing for retirement and seeing if the motorhoming life suited us. So this year, I'm lucky enough that I don't have to work full time and can take a break. So I thought, why not? Let's go for it. So we've taken 4 months off, the pair of us, this summer, and we're off to try the motorhoming experience. And this is the videos of the second trip, which is doing the NC 500. So hope you enjoy. Keep smiling.